Christmas Ashamsagal, India. While the Western world is turning more commercial, everyone looks the same this festive season. Christmas in India is as traditional, unique, and diverse, with all the celebrations and the fervor, especially in Kerala. The state of Kerala has the highest population of Christians in India. As of the 2011 census, the community members stand at about 18.38% of the state's overall population. So while you will see many Indians, irrespective of their faith, joining in the Christmas fervor across the country, but I noticed some special characteristics about this southernmost state. The world has Santa Claus. Kerala has Christmas Apoopan, or a Christmas father. Now, this father figure is certainly a gifter like the Santa, but also for the local community bonding, is known to lead a group, striking conversations, giving solace if required to families, especially in rural areas. So this is more of a local, familiar relationship. This Santa is known to all than just a westernized commercial tradition sitting in a market and everyone's getting clicked with. Kerala's tourism website states that early in December itself, the Christmas season begins. There are holy mass, special prayers, and cultural events. But that sounds the same for all. So, what is so different about Christmas in Kerala then? It is the Indianness, the history and tradition. It's not really been forgotten despite the first conversions believed from 52 AD. So, there are silk saris and gold ornaments that are still the go to attire, at least for the elderly generation. There is a lot of shopping scene for the quintessential silk in the state of Kerala. And then, plum cakes. While plum cakes are famous all over during Christmas, every shop in every market across India will have the plum cakes. But I am told that a Malayali shop is where you find the best plum cake. I'm not saying it, don't come after me. The legend around it and the chorus says that best raisins and dry fruits, soaked in the chosen alcohol like wine, rum, brandy, are the key ingredients. But even here, there is a special concoction. Some friends have told me that they specifically go looking for a shop that is owned by a Malayali baking the plum cake, and that can be in any part of the world. Am I correct on that? Tell me in the comments. Now, the first replica from Britain of the plum cake is known to have been baked in Kerala. And in that too, the baker, Mambali Bapu, switched the British ingredients with the Indian available ones like a local liquor instead of the European brandy earlier. India, remember, did not really have the typical ovens that the Europeans were used to. So our indigenous bakers in Kerala made their own and called it Borma. A Borma is a coconut shell-fired oven, which origins can still be traced back to one baker based in Kochi, possibly centuries ago. I also spoke to some friends who have lived in Kerala, and even if they may not be from the Christian community, why is this festival so widely celebrated by one and all as a fervor of joy? It is about house to house carol singing group at night during the season where there would be conversations, and regardless of the faith of the people, they would eagerly await the arrival of that old Santa Claus, especially for children. While people across India would be seen hanging a star on the tree or over their home, in Kerala, this could actually turn competitive, all in good spirit, of course, and again a highlight for the children as well. In fact, among the Christians also there is a diversity. The Syro-Malabar Christians form the largest Christians group in Kerala. While preparing for the Feast of Nativity, they reportedly practice an abstinence for about 25 days leading up to the Christmas day, which is 25th December. Last year on Homeland, I did an episode about how Christmas is celebrated across India where many still retain their old traditions. But we received a special request from our viewers that Kerala deserves a special episode for all the history associated with it. Many have liked to simply assume or widely declare that Christians are treated unfairly or at a mass level discriminated against in India based on isolated incidents, or that their festivals are curtailed or they have no freedom of religion. How can that be true? Such are festivities around Christmas in India that if you go out on the streets right now, you cannot miss the flavor in the air or at home. And most of them may not even be Christians. From the India Gate to the Gateway of India, from Tamil Nadu to the Kashmir Valley, you will see the reds and the whites, markets flooded, cheer and celebrations, including by those who do not follow the faith. The Ministry of Railways has announced the operation of 10 special trains that have been to accommodate increased travel demand to and from Kerala during Christmas, and 149 special train services have been announced across various railway zones for the festive season across India, focusing specially on the southern states. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the Christmas celebrations at the residence of Union Minister George Kurian and interacted with eminent members and leaders of the community, including BJP leaders from the Christian community.
दुनिया भर में उपस्थित ईसाई समुदाय को क्रिसमस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. Merry Christmas.
And it's not just about this government. In 2012, remember, the community found a good representation too, as ministers in Manmohan Singh government then, like A.K. Antony, K.V. Thomas, Agatha Sangma, Vincent Pala, and many find a representation here on as well, whether at the state level, leading the state assemblies, or in the government at the centre. Let me now tell you about the places of worship. St. Thomas Church in Palayur is considered as the first church in Kerala and possibly therefore in India too. It is still standing with some of the oldest churches that are still functional and in Kerala. St. Mary's Orthodox, St. Francis in Fort Kochi are only some of the churches I'm mentioning that are considered as national heritage for India. In the latest, the 425th anniversary celebration of the Udayamperur Synod was also organized. Christians in Kerala believe that they trace their roots to the arrival of St. Thomas the Apostle as the first missionary. Reports suggest that somewhere around 52 CE, he arrived at the ancient Malabar port city. Then the Syrian settlers, the Persian missionaries, and with this a community of Syro-Malabar Christians. The Syro-Malabar Church, therefore, is the second largest of-age church for Catholics after the Latin Church. All of these churches are still thriving, visited by all age groups, religious communities, and across Kerala and other parts of India as well. So here's hoping that all of you are enjoying the fervor, the joy and celebration of Christmas. Wishing Merry Christmas to all the viewers of Homeland. Thank you for watching and expressing and sharing your love with us. Thank you.